On my wedding day, my sister threw her drink in my face and yelled, "You don't deserve any of this." My mom pulled her aside and whispered, "She's just in pain. Let it go." So I did. But that night, I made one quiet move. By morning, my phone blew up with 42 missed calls. They had just found out. I'll never forget the feeling of that wine hitting my face. The cold, the shock, but mostly the rage. She wanted to ruin it. She planned to ruin it. There's no other explanation. Who does that to their own sister on her wedding day? She waited for the perfect moment. I know it now. Not when we were getting ready in the morning. Not at the ceremony. No, she waited until I was smiling the widest, dancing with my husband for the first time as his wife, surrounded by people who loved us. She waited until the cameras were pointed at me, until the lights were glowing just right, until I was so happy I forgot for a moment that she hated me. That's when she stepped out from the crowd, drink in hand, and threw it straight at me. It hit my face, chest, and the front of my dress. Red wine, the kind that stains forever. And over the stunned gasps and clinking glass and sudden silence, her voice rang out across the dance floor. "You don't deserve any of this." I stood there soaked in my ruined dress. And all I could think was, she meant to do it. This wasn't some drunken mistake. This was planned. Like she'd been waiting for her cue. Like she couldn't stand watching me have something she didn't. I looked at her, really looked, and it hit me how much she enjoyed it. She was proud of herself. Her lipstick was smudged. Her eyes a little glassy, but her face said everything. This was her victory. In her twisted mind, she had won something. My mom rushed to her, didn't look at me, didn't ask if I was okay, just grabbed my sister, wrapped her up like she was the one who'd just been attacked, and said loud enough for half the room to hear, "He's hurting. Ignore it." Like that made it better. Like that made the wine disappear. Like I hadn't just spent a year planning a wedding she destroyed in under 30 seconds. Let me be clear. This didn't come out of nowhere. She's been jealous of me for years, but she masks it in fake bohemian nonsense. Always going on about finding herself chasing freedom, being too spiritual for real work. But what she actually does is party in Brooklyn, live off my money, and whine about how the world doesn't understand her art. I've been paying her rent, her groceries, sending her money every month like an idiot, believing she was building something real. Meanwhile, I've been working nonstop. I built a business. I bought my own place. I did the work she refused to do. And for that she hates me. I didn't say a word to her. I couldn't. I turned and walked away into the bathroom with my husband right behind me. He didn't say anything at first, just grabbed paper towels and helped me blot the wine out of the dress piece by piece. He kissed my forehead and told me I still looked amazing, that no one could ruin what we had, that we weren't going to let her win. When we came back out, it was chaos. His family, people who had known me for maybe a year, were in my dad's face. His aunt was practically yelling, demanding to know why they allowed her to behave like that. My husband's cousin was holding my sister back, trying to calm her down as she kept shouting. My mom was still clutching her like a wounded animal. My dad was trying to defend her, repeating the same thing over and over. He's just emotional. She didn't mean it. You don't understand how hard it's been for her. I watched them all from across the room and realized something I hadn't allowed myself to admit before. They'll always choose her. No matter how much I give, no matter what she does, my parents will always protect her because she's fragile, broken, chaotic, and I'm not. I'm strong, so I don't need protection. I get silence instead. But that night, I wasn't going to be silent. "Get out." That's all I said. And the room went dead quiet again. My dad tried to argue. My mom looked like I'd slapped her, but I didn't care. They had to leave. Her especially. And they did. Someone from the venue escorted them out. I didn't look back. I don't even remember the next half hour. I just remember dancing again with my husband, with his mom, with my college friends, like I was still having a wedding, not a disaster. But the rage didn't leave. I smiled, thanked people. I posed for photos. But inside, I was done. Not just with her, with all of them. And when the party ended after we were back in the hotel room and my husband was asleep, I took my phone and did one thing. Quiet, simple, final. I didn't tell anyone what I did, not even him. But the next morning, I woke up to 42 missed calls. They knew. The calls started early, 6 o'clock in the morning. At first, I thought it was a mistake. Then I saw the names. Mom, Dad, Mom again, then her. No voicemails, just missed calls. 14 from my sister alone. 42 total by the time I dragged myself out of bed. They'd figured it out. The night before, while everyone was sleeping off cake and champagne, I sat in bed beside my husband, still in my makeup, still in my wedding earrings, and opened my laptop. Took 10 minutes to shut the whole thing down. I removed my name from my sister's lease. I canceled every payment to my parents' utilities and rent. I called my lawyer and instructed him to freeze the joint account. I wiped my hands clean of them. They had spent years treating me like a backup plan. And on the one day they should have stood beside me, they reminded me exactly where I stood. So, I reminded them where they stood without me. By noon, the text messages started rolling in from my mom. "Sweetheart, something's wrong with the bank account. Rent bounced." Then, "Is this because of what happened at the wedding? Your sister's going through a lot. Please don't do anything rash." Rash. I stared at that word for a long time. That's what she thought. This was a rash decision. Not the buildup of years of favoritism, guilt tripping, and financial dependency. Not the scream across the reception hall, or the wine staining the dress I'd picked out with so much care. No, that was just a little emotional moment, but me cutting them off. That was too far. I didn't reply. I turned off notifications and spent the day out with my husband. We wandered down to the river, grabbed takeout from the corner Thai place, and ate in the park like we used to when we were dating. I didn't want to talk about the wedding or them. Not yet. By the next day, the tone of the messages shifted. No more soft concern. Now it was guilt and blame. My dad sent a 4-paragraph text about how family sticks together no matter what. He said I was overreacting. That my sister was humiliated and needed support now more than ever. That I should be the bigger person. Then my sister texted me. No apology. No ownership. Just this. "So you're actually serious about cutting us off?" It was the kind of message you send when you think someone's bluffing. When you still believe they'll cave. I didn't reply. A few days later, I came home from a morning walk to find them standing outside our apartment building. They'd found our new address. My heart dropped into my stomach. I wasn't afraid, not exactly, but I felt exposed like they'd broken through a boundary I wasn't ready to defend out loud. My husband opened the door. He kept it half closed behind him. Didn't invite them in right away. I watched from the hallway. He told them one thing. "You're not going to bring drama into this house." Eventually, he let them in, but only after they promised they were there to talk, not to argue. When I stepped into the living room, it was like stepping onto a stage I didn't audition for. My mom looked tearful. My dad tense. My sister sat slouched on the edge of the couch like this was all beneath her. She started in with that false sweetness she uses when she wants something. Said she made a mistake, but that I'd embarrassed her by making it such a big deal. That she was under pressure. That the wedding made her feel like a failure. That I'd abandoned her, and she had snapped. Her voice was fake, calm, like she was explaining away a parking ticket. My mom jumped in asking me to consider that this wasn't who she really is. My dad said we needed to heal and forgive. Said the money thing was unnecessary and vindictive. My sister didn't say sorry, not once. Just stared at me, arms crossed, kept my face still. And then I walked over and slapped her. No warning, no yelling, just one clean hard slap. He stared at me stunned. My mom gasped. My dad started to say something, but thought better of it. "You ruined my wedding. You humiliated me. You embarrassed our whole family. And now you're here pretending I went too far." They didn't know what to do with that. For once, no one defended her. They left not long after. Quiet this time. That's when the real unraveling began. They left our apartment without another word. No dramatic exit, no shouting, not even a final glance. My mom looked like she wanted to say something, but didn't. My dad held the door open for my sister. And for once, she didn't look smug. She looked rattled, like something had shifted, and she didn't know how to reset it. For the first time in years, I felt peace. Not joy, not triumph, just quiet. But that quiet didn't last long. The fallout came fast. By the end of the week, I got a text from a number I didn't recognize. My sister's roommate in New York. She said my sister had moved out. Just packed her stuff and left. She didn't say where she was going, but I knew there was only one place left for her. Back home. The same house where she spent her high school years trashing our parents' rules and blaming me for every consequence she ever faced. Back under their roof, probably already acting like she was the victim in all of this. I pictured her sitting at our old kitchen table, telling our mom that I'd lost my mind, that the wedding wasn't even that serious, that I hit her for nothing, that I was selfish for cutting them off. But this time there were no wires left connecting us. No bills, no leases, no handouts. She was officially on her own, and so were they. The call slowed down after that. Then they stopped altogether. About a week after the slap, my lawyer called to confirm the last joint account had been closed. My dad had tried to log in multiple times and then tried to transfer funds, which triggered an alert. The account was frozen before he could move a dime. Then the messages started up again from my mom. "We didn't know you were serious. Please, just a little help until we figure things out." From my dad, "Your sister's not well. She's lost. Don't turn your back on her now." From my sister, one sentence, no punctuation. "I hope it was worth it." I didn't reply. I wasn't angry anymore. I was just finished. All my life, I had been the dependable one, the quiet one, the one who made things work. I paid the bills. I kept the peace. I let them shame me in subtle ways because I didn't want to cause a scene. But the wedding was the scene, and it told me everything I needed to know. My husband, bless him, never pressured me to talk about any of it. He just made dinner, held me close, helped me box up the wedding photos that had red wine in the corners. We sent the dress off to a specialist. It'll probably never be wearable again. But that's not why I kept it. I kept it because every stain on it is proof that I finally said no. Meanwhile, back at their house, things weren't going so smoothly. My sister's credit card, the one I used to pay off in full every month, got declined at a salon. She posted about it on Instagram, passive-aggressively ranting about people turning their backs on family for money. My dad had to sell one of his 2 cars. My mom quietly listed some of her designer bags on Facebook Marketplace. Word got around to my cousin Leah, who called me and asked what happened. I told her the truth. She said, "Good for you. We've all been waiting for someone to finally say it." That's when I realized everyone knew they'd all just stayed out of it. He'll know. What started at my wedding wasn't just a rupture. It was a spotlight. And now they couldn't hide. They walked out of our apartment without a word. No tantrum, no defense, no last-minute guilt trip. My dad's jaw was locked. My mom wouldn't look at me. And my sister, for the first time in her life, looked unsure of herself. She clutched her purse like a child holding on to the only thing she had left. And I stood in the doorway long after they were gone, listening to their steps fade down the hall. The silence afterward didn't feel good. Felt strange, like standing outside after a storm and realizing the house is still standing, but something shifted deep in the foundation. I waited for the guilt to come. It never did. The next day, I got a call from an unknown number. I ignored it. Then came a text. "Hi, this is Bree. I live with your sister. Just letting you know she left today. She's not coming back. Took all her stuff and said she's moving home." Of course, she was. There was nowhere else for her to go. Without me, the New York fantasy was over. No more rent paid on time. No more money for takeout and endless nights at overpriced bars. No more pretending she was chasing some vague artistic dream while living like every day was another weekend. Coming back home meant returning to the same house she always called a cage. The one she swore she'd never set foot in again. The one she said I had escaped only because I was lucky. It took her exactly 5 days to crawl back. Meanwhile, I was cutting every tie. I called my lawyer to make sure my name was removed from anything linked to my parents. The health insurance I'd temporarily added my mom to, gone. The emergency card on my dad's account, canceled. The final joint bank account, frozen before they could touch what was left. Apparently, my dad had tried to move some of the money before it cleared, which triggered a fraud alert. That's when the calls started again. My mom's voice now sharp with panic instead of concern. "This is a misunderstanding. We didn't think you'd go this far. Can't we just talk?" Then my dad. "You're punishing the whole family for one mistake. You know how hard things are right now." I didn't reply, not once. Not to a single call, text, or email. I silenced it all. I was done playing their game. Then my sister messaged me. No greeting, no apology, just, "I hope it was worth it." As if I'd lost something. As if she hadn't drenched my wedding dress and screamed in my face in front of everyone I love. I didn't answer. A few days later, my cousin Leah called. She'd heard about the wedding but not the full story, so I told her everything. No sugarcoating this time. She went quiet, then said, "Honestly, good. Someone had to do what you did. We've all seen how they treat her like a fragile pet and expect everyone else to clean up after her." That stuck with me. It was the first time I realized I wasn't the only one who saw it, just the only one who finally said enough. Then everything started to unravel. My sister's credit card, the one I used to pay off every month, was declined trying to cover a nail appointment. She posted a dramatic Instagram story with a quote about betrayal and true colors. My mom started listing her designer shoes and handbags online. My dad quietly sold things from the garage. One of his friends even messaged my husband, asking if we were okay because my parents were going through a rough time. Rough time. They'd had a rough time the moment they let my sister ruin the biggest day of my life, and still expected me to pick up the pieces. But this time, I wasn't paying. Behind their embarrassment and financial panic, there was something deeper, fear. They weren't just losing money, they were losing control. I had been their safety net for so long that they forgot I could walk away, and now they had no one but each other. I thought that was the end of it. I expected more desperate texts, maybe a guilt-laced email from my mom, or another passive-aggressive message from my sister. I was ready for all of it, except the letter. A real one, with my full name written neatly in the middle of the envelope. Not Sweetie, not Honey, just Sophia. I almost threw it away, but the handwriting stopped me. It was my dad's. Inside was one page, handwritten. The first line read, "Your mother doesn't know I'm writing this." That alone made me keep reading. He didn't beg or try to justify anything. He just admitted what I never thought he would, that he let it all happen. He'd watched my sister spiral, my mom defend her, and me carry more than I should have. He thought if he stayed neutral, things would balance out, but they never did. Then came the line that broke me. "She scares your mother, you know? And I think she scares me, too. Not because she yells, but because she believes every word she says, no matter how twisted." For the first time, he acknowledged the truth, that my sister didn't just manipulate people, she rewrote reality, and they let her. He didn't ask for forgiveness, didn't ask for help. He just said he was sorry for standing by, that he understood if I never spoke to them again, and that maybe I was finally doing what they should have done long ago. I read that letter 3 times before tucking it away. The same day, my sister posted a dramatic Instagram reel, walking through our old neighborhood in slow motion with moody music and a caption that read, "Starting over." Betrayal is loud. Silence is stronger. Her fans filled the comments, calling her brave, misunderstood, a survivor. But even some of them seemed unsure. Then I got a message from one of her old roommates in New York. "Hey, I'm sorry about what happened at your wedding. I had no idea she was like that." Another from an old friend. "Is she okay? She posted that she's living in your parents' basement." I hadn't said a word, yet the truth was seeping out on its own. Then came the call that changed everything. Mrs. Jenkins, our old neighbor. She said my mom had moved out, staying with her sister now. When I asked why, she whispered, she couldn't take it anymore. Said your sister wouldn't stop screaming. Threw a vase at your dad last week. I just sat there. The same sister they had always defended, the one they protected from consequences, was now tearing their lives apart. Without me there to absorb the chaos, it had turned inward. And just when I thought it couldn't go further, her oldest friend texted, "She's not okay. I know it's not your problem, but she's getting worse." I didn't reply. I didn't even know what to say. I had spent years keeping everyone afloat, paying the bills, keeping the peace, being the adult. And when I finally stepped back, everything collapsed. But the strangest part? I didn't feel triumphant or vindicated. Just empty. Not because I missed them, but because this wasn't revenge. This was just the truth finally catching up, and reality is quieter than people think. It's been 2 months since the wedding, since the wine, the scream, the slap, and the silence. 2 months since I stopped pretending things were fine just to keep the peace. I didn't call or text after that night. I didn't offer forgiveness or check in. I just let it all be. For once, I gave myself permission not to fix it. My husband and I started our married life quietly. No honeymoon, no big gestures, just peace. My mom sent a card with a pressed flower and a wedding photo. My dad texted, "We're proud of you. Whatever you need, we're here." I didn't respond, but it didn't hurt. My sister disappeared for a while, then showed up one afternoon with coffee and a small box. Inside was a framed piece of my wedding dress, the only part not stained by wine. She said, "I wanted you to have the part that didn't get ruined." We sat in silence until she said softly, "I don't know why I ruined your day. I just didn't want to be invisible next to you. You didn't do anything wrong. You just stopped waiting for me to catch up." I didn't say much. She left without asking for forgiveness. That night, I placed the framed lace in our bedroom, not to remember the pain, but the shift. We're not healed or pretending everything's fine, but we're real now. I'll never get back the wedding I dreamed of, but I gained something better, clarity. I'm no longer the caretaker or peacekeeper. I just get to be me. And that's enough.